Good morning to everyone. So I am Biswas, Academic Counselor of IGNO. So today I have to take the HRM management review of all the blocks and case studies. So today the session will be very interesting because here today I try to briefing the just outlining all the blocks. Basically, I can say this is a round of the all the blocks. And finally, the structure will be today's structure will be first I have to briefing the block 1, block 2, block 3, and block 4, all the main important parts and the units. Then I have to show you some of the case studies. Case studies already here already. So I have to go through these case studies and answer is also there so that the pattern of the questions, if you see from the last year onward, now the questions only. Before that, it was the section A and section B. Section A part is the questions, and section B was the case studies. Some story was there, and after that, you have to answer it. But from the last, you see the last year question paper, that pattern has changed. But so you have to prepare for both the things. If the case series is coming, then you should be comfortable. Or otherwise, if all the questions, there are 7 to 8 questions, out of that 5 questions you have to attend, that is also good, no problem. So I will try to give you some of the inputs of from case study sides, from the questions, and last, if the time is permit, then I can discuss about some of the questions, important questions. So now let's see. Again, the unit number 1, where basically the meaning of the HRM, where we discuss the definitions, and then what is the HR? I mean the human resource. Then your organizations, what are the organizations basically? Then policies, systems, then employee benefits, design. So first unit are basically describe what are the HRM. Within the HRM, there is an umbrella. You can see that this is the umbrella, and within this umbrella, what are the components are there? So, and what type of approaches are there? And then job analysis, job descriptions, specification, recruitment, training, development. So everything are defined. So it is all are the part of the HRM. So if the question is coming, what is the meaning of HRM? Then you have to explain all this area you have to touch upon. And then it will be a complete, maybe 15 or 20 marks questions. So you have to elaborate accordingly. Then some of your evolution of the HRM, you have to see earlier trade union movement, different some movement was there. And there, where the latest concept has come, that is your management techniques. What are the management techniques? Everything that you have to explain the things. And finally, what the growth of the India and what different type of phases and present scenario, how much it is interested for the HRM, where it is needed, more stringent process are there. And basically the technology with the HRM, you have to see considering that way. Because the AI with the HRM, now the latest concept has come. So that part also, you may get some questions around this. Now, objectives of the HRM, what are the objectives of the HRM? Then there are primary objectives, basically your personal functions, then your functional, what are the organizations? So that is the things are area very important. Then your scope of the HRM, various aspects, significance of the HRM characteristics, nature of HRM, the people-centered inherent part of the management. The various component of the HRM, that is your HRO, HR organizations, and HRP, human resource planning, HR systems, HRD, HR relationships, then your HR accounting and HR audit, all the part of various component of the HR. So question may come from the any directions. Functions, basically, they are the managerial functions where it is part of your planning, organizing, directing and controlling. These all are the managerial functions. Operative functions are basically the procurement, recruitment process, all these things, then development and the compensation and the reward systems. So all these parts are basically your operative functions. Then some of the role of the responsibility of the HRM, present trends, what type of problems they are facing the managers as the HR manager, what are the problems, what are the challenges, design and create assistance, function of the managers, and some sort of you can say the strategy. What type of strategy you have to take is a strategy HRM. Challenges faced by the HR, then organizational environment factors. What are the environment factors are influencing for basically the change management purposes? When you are in the organization, some changes are required. So what type of environment is required, and what are the resistance are coming from the employees internally and externally? That part is there. Then elements of the strategic management. What are the elements? The theories of the strategy consist of the IHR and your information HRM. Then what are the issues in the HRM? That part is the globalizations, environmental impact, cultural differences, where the diversity is all this part of your international your HRM part, and what type of area you have to take it, means what are the steps are basically for when you are talking about the international HRM. So that case you have to, what are the area you have to more careful about the things. To set up a new organizations or set up a new office or department in the other country, there's one thing. Plus after that, return back when the expertise are coming back, then what type of program you have for relocations and for job allocation, new job allocations, for adjustment, all these things part are there. Then HR analytics, development to significance part, then the impact of the fourth industrial revolution of the HRM, the meaning of the artificial, as I say, the meaning of the artificial intelligence, AI, because AI tools is basically tools which are help the management, HR to do the work very accuracy and the real time. Basically, in the real time, you can have use data. The data are can be fetched from the systems, and you can utilize for these things for your purposes, for decision making purposes. So that very faster way you can make it. The time can be saved. Basically, the AI, when you're utilizing the AI tools, one way we can reduce the manpower, and we can optimization the manpower, plus we can time saves. We can time the saves, and error can be minimized, and seamlessly work. There should not be any problems, and you can add on the things. So there are a lot of facilities are there in the HR, the AI systems, and slowly everybody are adopted. Now most of the companies, they have the robotic systems, or maybe basically the data, big data volumes are there, and that data to handle the things, how fast we can utilize these things. Now the block 2 basically where the HR planning, where about the HR planning part is there. Then there are the objectives and need and the importance of the HR. What are the objectives are there? Then issues in the HR systems, that is also there. What are the issues are there? Then workforce, technology, structure and strategies, level of the HR planning. So that all are steps. Actually, I'm giving you some of these steps only where you can go through this. But then the process of the HR planning is important. How to forecast the HR systems, Here actually I'm just giving you some of the things. After that I will discuss about the relevant question also, and just to uh, what are the area are within the block, that is try to focus on these things. That's why I'm just giving you the slides, only pointing the within the units, unit points, and just giving. Means the within the block, which are the things are covered, the area covered. So for example, here actually for the forecastings, it's important. Supply forecasting, then your gap analysis is also important, because gap analysis in the HR planning is very important. Basically, whether your existing staffs and how much staffs are required, so that and how much skill you have, so that gap you have to analyze it. What are the your strength point, then your weakness, and your what are the threats are there. So what are the opportunities? That's a SWOT analysis purposes. So from there you can really easily analyze the gap analysis part. Then responsibility of the HR plan. What are the responsibilities of there? Main problems involved in the process of the HR. What are the problems are there? That also I will describe in details. So just give you some notes. Then after that I have to discuss more about this. Then guidelines of the improve effectiveness of the HRP process. Concept of the job analysis and the objectives of the analysis. I think last time the question has already came from the June your December 2024. The questions. The job analysis is already I think so. Then the importance of the job analysis, then your effects of the job analysis, duties, tools, environment. So this area, this part you can skip a little bit, because that area is already, the last time the question has come already. So you can just see the areas, but you can focus on other parties also. Because of the method of the analysis, you can see the method of the job analysis. That is important. Then job description, specification, design, then on-job evaluation. These all are the area of your block 2 part. Then recruitment, discuss the need, process of the recruitment, then your sources of the recruitment, method of the recruitment. There are what are the methods are there, and what are the purpose of the selections. Now here actually one of the questions may be recruitment versus selections. So you have to compare this, differentiate, you have to make out the differences also. Then different type of selection tests. There are so many test systems are there, question test, attitude test, or after that the first round, second round, third, WePro and some other multinational companies, they have some third round, fourth round test systems are there. Something is group discussions. So there are a lot of different processes are there. It is depending on the what position, basically software skills, or maybe your personal skills. The different skill levels you have to judge it. So the selection test type different. Again, in the positions, what type of levels are there. Different type of interviews also there. So that's why I think the single interface interviews, group interviews. Through this game also, I can identify this personality test. That's all a lot of things are there. The structured questions are there, and then some of the unstructured questions also there. So you have to make a tick like this. Then any interview or any process, there are some limitations are there. So that limitation you have to highlight. Organizational socializations when the induction program and your orientation programs are there, so that the new employees can come and easily can adjust the playing situation, and he or she should know what are the expectation from the management, and what type of nature of job I have to do it. So that's why the probation period is there. Sometimes one training period is there. Some of the company trainees or special training like this. So that basically these all are the socialization purpose, so that you can socialize the things. who is whom, who is your boss, even behavioral part is also there. So process of integrations, basically how to integrate the individuals, that is the important part. Uh, your socialization and education, then only you can you can skill up, then you can develop the people, and so that they can retain in the company. So idea is basically the HRM management. If I say in one sentence, the idea is to recruit the peoples, develop the peoples, and try to retain the people. There are three things there. You can say there are three main elements there, which are never ending, because all the time keep in mind. Not only particular one times you are do all these things. No, it is a challenge, because that challenge is ever going. All the time that management is facing these things. So recruitment process, how to recruit the thing, right persons in the right place in the right time. So everything are correlated matters. So organizational associations, as I say, this is one of the things, individual things. Relationship between the concept of the role and the organization's specializations, what type of role they have to perform the things, so that their expected performance can be achieved. I mean, the individual's objectives are given, and that should be aligned with the organizational, your organization's objectives has to be matched. Then promotions, definitely the promotion is one of the, you say, the motivation, and promotion system should be there. And then what type of promotions and demotions, because that should be required sometimes. So to motivate the other people, and those who are not up to the mark, or maybe they are not willing to do more hard work, for that the demotions is a policy should be there. Um, it is not advisable, it is not good also, but you should have some policy within the organization. There's a policy should be there, so that people can aware of all these things, and they can some it's fair about it. That not only they can maintain the disciplines, and they can feel their responsibilities, and after that they will also hope, yes, I will also get the promotions, reward, etc. Transfer, what basically the transfer means, because most of the cases transfers are employees are taking as a negative, like the passive. They are thinking, no, why I am transferred? Somebody has to transfer. What are the difficulties? Or this is not this. That management has to declare, or face-to-face discussions required, with the counseling is required. The transfer is not for the benefit for the companies and in the individual also. Because if you post it in some project area or some different places, it will give you opportunity to enhance your power. You can improve your powers. You can see this. At the same time, management is also want to see to how much you are performing your development levels, where you are, so that in future you can have a good project manager or maybe. So that's why the rotation, basically it is a job rotation process. The transfer is basically, idea is for the benefit for the individuals and for the management also. But at the same time, management also see the transfer should not be filled as a punishment, because before that you have to arrange some of the things. His family also to be happy before going to transfer theirs. Maybe the children's educations will have to be part of their education part. You have to see before transferring. You have to see the employees' children's condition, education conditions. If it is a 10th standard or 12th standard, then you have to postpone these things. It should not be disturbed the employees, even though it is a good positions. Big requirement for that. Still, you have to see the welfare of the employees, because his need for this for the children's education. So that all this part is there. So transfer, we have to consider a lot of points are also there, so that the employee should not feel as a punishment. So before transferring, you have to issue the letter or transfer letter. You have to discuss with him is really willing to go there or not, because there is a psychologically, if he willing to go there, and that is welcome, because he can perform the work in a full spirit and a spirit, he can do it all these things. So and the retirement policy, the employee their separations purposes, if you leave the organizations or by the virtue of the superannuations, 60 years age or something, that policy based on this, and that also you have to get some packages, gratuity systems and all these things. Then what is the meaning? Basically, the separation means that part also there. What the way you can voluntary retirement scheme is also part of your separations. So this is the way you have to explain the things. Now coming to block number 3, that is your performance of the compensation management. In the compensation management, during my earlier semester, I have explained in details. Here are some of the things, the concept of the personnel, why it is needed. For the end of the year, you should see where is his performance levels, is improved or not, fail or pass, or intermediate positions. Based on this, you can have arrange for his training, or maybe boost up some of the things, or you can transfer. So that is one of the chart basically. So performance will be chart where he is now. He has fulfilled the target or not. So everything are the reflected is the appraisal systems. So appraisal systems just like a mirror of the employees is where he can now and how best he can do in future also. So goal of the performance appraisals, then objectives of the performance appraisals, process of the performance appraisals is all this the part of your this part. And 360-degree appraisal systems, then your MBO management of objectives, that is also important. Counseling is also important. Suppose somebody is not performing at par, is not fulfilling the target, so some sort of counseling is also required so that he can achieve which are already delayed or something. Not done earlier, the balance work, you can speed up the things. And what are the problems that the personal affairs systems, that also you have to highlight. It depends on the individual or company aspect. Then some of the potential appraisal part is also there, because some of the employees' power are hidden. Basically, the hidden potential has to be come out. So for that, apart from your personal appraisal systems of potential appraisal, the talent search, basically the talent search program should be there. You have to identify, apart from his qualifications, positions, and this, if any hidden qualifications and hidden performance you have noticed something, so that should be enhanced and should be encourage him to do some things. So that is also you have to focus on the potential appraisal systems also, so that new ideas, innovations can be possible through these potential appraisal systems. Career development programs should be there so that attract the people from the outsiders, those who are willing to join in the companies. They can see the career development program is there or not in the company. And even those who are working, the staffs, they are also feel, yes, and these organizations, I have a good positions. After 3 years, I can get a group managers maybe. So that type of should be the policy, and career development program should be there, where it should be identified, how many years is required, what type of level will be there. So everything should be rule and regulations, everything should be there, so that people can happily can do these things, and keeping in view, okay, after 3 years I will be that categories. So it will give a boost and a motivational boost also. And another aspect is this: if you have a good career development program in the organizations, retaining the employee will be percentage of the retained people will be good. So we will retain the organizations. Career planning is also you should have a career planning also. Succession planning is a part of these things, because when people are leaving somewhere, or they can the gap should be filled up immediately. If somebody is retired, so that gap should be immediately filled up. So that type of provisions you should have, so that what should not be delayed. I mean, not be stuck up the things because of that. So planning, career planning, basically the gap filling, where the gaps appears, if the vacuum positions are there, how to from the existing starts from there the best we can put it. So that type of planning is required in advance, as a proactive action should be there in the planning part. That part is also there. So that is one of the component part of the planning, total planning. So career is planning is also to be included. Now the process of the career planning, there are so many processes are there. Limitation of the career planning, there is some limitations should be there, some benchmarks should be there. Succession planning, as I said, you have to fill up the gaps. There should not be any, just like a relay race. As we've seen in the relay race, somebody has leave these things, the bottoms, and other can start run. They can run fast. So this is the succession planning should be keeping in mind, just like a sports, because one person's the other person's coming and take the jobs immediately. The responsibility are there should not be any gap. So it has happened in some of the multinational companies, or even in the CPUs on the public sector undertaking company, before CEO is leaving, or before that, 2 months before, that another CEO has come in, joined, so that it should be some overlapping by the time he can hand it over the jobs. So as soon as he leave the organizations, so he can hand over he can pick up all the things, and smoothly can do the works. Then various training program, as you know, for this is the active decision making process, where the technology, something skill is required. The training program can enhance the present scenario, present conditions. Development, development is by the HRD, human resource development is different things. Training is also a part of the things, but training always need is the action planning, what the immediate requirement. So that training is required. HRD, for HRD, the training calendar program is there within these type of training program, so that future, considering the future requirement, you have to have some program, so that suppose for the after 1 year or 2 years, that new project is coming. So you have before that you have to plan for that. HRD has to plan for that. You have to recruit the people, train them, so that when as and when that situation will come, they can put the things, they can then start the joining. They can handle the jobs like this. As I can share on my experience here, actually in this case, HRD training program basically. So when the new project has come, basically, when the new project are coming on, this is a new technology basically. So when this technology are implementing, before the implementing, when some things are in the planning stage, or after that contractual, then after that execution is going on, and after that commissioning and handed over, and the engineers has to maintain these existing companies there. So during the execution times, it may not be required for the maintenance, because after that commissioning and maintenance part has to done by the own companies employees. So they have to train in advance so that they can handle the situations. So otherwise, all the time you have to depend on the suppliers or vendors. So that's why you have to train the people from the factory itself when the manufacturing time itself. You have to go send some of the engineers or some experts or technical persons so that they can learn there itself. They can see the how it is dealing on all these things, practicality, testing and everything. You have to involve in the testing and commissioning part. Then easily when the ultimately the project will complete, before as soon as the project is complete, they can stay there. So that is the basically the program are to be arranged. The schedule of the program are to be keeping in view of the future requirements. So important issues of the training. What are the issues of the compensation management? As I said, is one of the very important things, compensation management. Because people are joining the company to earn as per their work, they have to pay some things so that they can survive and their purchasing capacity should be, and they can maintain their family also and grow at the same time. So package should be such a way they should not feel what the effort I am giving, I'm not undervalued. I mean, I'm not getting the same amount which are likely to be. So that compensation management is basically you have to maintain the pay package of basic, your DA or your allowances, benefits, that should be at par with the market levels and definitely keeping in view the government rule and regulation. That should not be below the government directives. As per the labor law, that minimum structures has to be there. So when you are maintaining the compensation package and at the same time present condition at the same time the other competitors, you have to see the competitors viewpoint also so that your compensation package should be a competitive package. It's a comprehensive compensation package in line with the market. Reward system is also important because you have to have a rewards the time to time, because when somebody is doing very good, perform the jobs, you have to reward yourselves and you have to give some appreciations, maybe monetary, non-monetary. In the reward system, there are so many ways you can reward it. You can have monetary systems or maybe non-monetary. And everything, sometimes appreciation, thanks, that is also sufficient. So everything should be in the systems. Then basically for the motivation purposes of the employees. And then finally, the last block number 4, the employees empowerment. Because until we have the empowered the employees, then we can get the good product or the quality wise. And the employee should also feel happy when he is doing the something jobs. What I am doing. So do respect, skill, and your togetherness, everything are belonging, everything are coming through the empowerment levels. The management has to involve, and they have to initiate some of the things so that the employee can be skilled enough for take over the new projects and do for the better for the company. So benefits of the employees empowerment, that is also, that's some of the things I can highlight. What are the benefits of the empowerment? See, if you empower your employees, then one way you can reduce the recruitment of the things so that employee can do and he is capable of to do the work and train them so that he can perform the well, enhance his power. What are the within his power that have to encash the powers? I mean, he can increase his productions and contribute more. So the knowledge may be required, skill may be required, some of the motivations is also required. So all the things are the part of your empowerment. Quality circle is another important part because you have to start a voluntarily, you have to see those who are not performing well, you have to do it. So there should have some, the Japan system is there, quality circles, to enhance the power of the others also. So some of the skilled and trained people should be within the circle. They have to focus on the betterment of the company always by doing some of the as a group we have to work with. Worker participation in the management is another important part because workers should know, aware of all these things, what is going on in the management, what is going on in the company, in the organizations. They also feel, I would say, part of this company. So that's why the participation is required through this trade union part is also there. Workers' participations in the management via the trade unions also it is welcome by the management. Sometimes the new ideas can come up and there are some conflict can be reduced. If the work's participation is there, then we can reduce the conflict and some sort of most of the issues can be reduced from there itself. So that after that, if the management is taking some of the decisions, it may be one-sided decisions. Workers may not be happy with these things. So that's why the participation is required. There are some of the rules are there for the how to effective participations. So rule is there that there should be come and quiet, to give some fixed agenda and there should be realistic agenda should be there. There should not be any unrealistic demand should not be there. So that and fair, then some of the rules are to maintain it within the meeting. You have to come in time. You have to focus. You have to discuss with something so that any conflict or any argument, there should not be any argument because idea is to during the meeting have to get the result, basically the result both the way the win-win situation that should be there. Employers should happy, employees should also happy. Overall, the organization should be that objectives to be fulfilled during the participation of the meetings. That's why you should have some prerequisite things. What are the agenda points that should be circulated before the meetings? You should be aware of the participant that before come with the preparations. Otherwise, simply sitting in the meeting may not be the effective participations. So we have to aware all these, what the point has to be discussed, and before that you have to prepare some of the ideas and some solutions. So come with some solution. You have to circulate in the notice in such a way they will come with some of the lot of solutions. Simply sitting is should not be any effective. So grievances is one of the important parts. There's a lot of grievances there. It is by virtue of the things. So when the women are working together and there, so grievance will be there. Maybe misunderstanding, maybe some conflict to do these things. So grievance should be redressed as early as possible by the management, or the manager should be handled the situations very nicely, and it should not be delayed. If the grievances, complaints are delayed, it may create some of the anxiety or something. Ultimately, it will affect in the productions also. So try to give a solution as early as possible so that grievances, complaint can be should not be there. Judicial purpose, whatever the things. There should not be very much level should be there because in the grievances there should be level should be 1 or 2 levels. So that very fast tracks we can solve the situations, the grievance problems. So various effect of the, as I said, the conflict may be increased if I not solve the grievances. As handling is very important part, discipline, and is the various types of affairs that also is. Trade union and the various objectives are there. Why the trade union is required? Really it is needed or not? Yes, because trade unions, some of the objectives are there. They have to see the employees part, their wellness, their welfare part is also there. So that's a lot of trade unions are there. All the trade unions should be jointly in a very cohesive manner. They have to maintain the things within the organizations that there are maybe 2 or 3 trade unions. They should be integrated in such a way so that they can demand the things in the management. and that can be come out with very good results. So there are some differences between the blue color and white color workers. That differences have to be tried to reduce the things, and so that anybody in a brotherhood way have to work together, so that ultimately focus on the productivity. Employer also some objectives should be there. There should not be any create some of the problems, because they should not favor any trade union part and other parts. So there should not be any in fair way. They have to fair game. They have to play all the things. Some of the challenges of the employers, the organizations, because that also because involvement, time to time discussions. Challenges are basically can be removed by the discussions on by the meetings, maybe the workshops, maybe open forums. Through this way, you can reduce a lot of challenges. Can be reduce what are the issues are from the trade union side or the worker sides. So management has to sit together and so that sort it out the things. So this is the way I can now look. Now coming to some of the case studies. As I said, the case studies are here. Actually, you see, before start the case studies, there are some of the things are given, some of the story is given basically. There are 40 marks. And in the end of the stories, you can see there are actually I have already highlighted the marks in the important point that I will explain. Then finally the question is theirs. After the story, the question is theirs. Why I am showing this question first, not reading the case studies first? Because the rule is there. I feel personally that, for example, if you go through the stories, suppose I am now read out the stories, then after that I have to go for the answering the questions. So then I don't know the questions. So then I have to go through this, and maybe, and after that, when I see the questions, so then maybe again I have to go through the story again. I have to read out, because if the focus is there, suppose for example, if I say, what is the age of the when they established Vishal Industries, when it has established, or how many employees are there? Suppose question is there. Then when you start automatically it will be stuck up. Oh yes, the factory employee to 50 employees. So it is in your mind is there the question is like this. Or suppose for example the question is how many candidates they have selected. Suppose so the question is theirs. So then when you go through this, immediately okay, they have selected 3 candidates, they are finally selected. So the question, that's why first you see when you case study is there, first you go to the questions. What are the questions there? Then if you go through the questions, that it will be triggered in your mind, in your memory, the question, this is the questions. So then whom you will recommend out of 2 candidates? And using the question, there is the theme of the things. Out of the 2 candidates, whom you recommend things? The first questions. Second is how to convince the things. If suppose there are 2 members in the interview in the panel, somebody is saying, no, I have to recruit this person. Other panel member is saying, no, I will recruit this person. He is good, he is bad. So how to convince the things? So as the HR managers. Third is improve the interpersonal relations. How to improve it? So all 3 questions are now in your mind. Now, now I'm discussing right now, there are 3 questions are there. Now you go through the reading the case studies. So now it will be very easy to understand where the we have to focus it, because everything the answer is lying in the study in the your case studies alone. So now I can say here now you see the one of the I can just out the things. I'm not going through all the sentences. Vishal Industries is one of the factories there. There are 250 employees that are working. One post as vacancy is there. The timekeeper post is required basically. Now, whereas management decided, okay, he has given a to the personal manager, you please select some of the papers and select these things. So he has selected 6 people out of 197. Now the priority based on this CB 197, out of that 6 he has eligible. Okay. Then finally, then they have to observe the 2 candidates were age beard. Out of that, um, out of 6, there are 2 are age beard. So that again it is disqualified. And 1 candidate has a suspicious personal life, maybe based on this biodata, references, whatever the references is given, it is not lacking. So now, out of now 6 selected, 2 has gone because of the age bar, 1 has gone for the because of the suspicious personal life. So ultimately, it selected 3 candidates. We have selected the 3 candidates. So now go to the next slides. Here there are 2 candidates. One candidate is your Mr. Tukaram Patil, and another is your Girish Mahajans. They appeared for the interview. Both has prepared for the interview. Now see, what are the traits? What are the personal department as the merits? I just highlighted Mr. Tukaram Patil. He is around 30 years old and he has already experience as exceptionally amicable. His verbal skills is good, average, and good degree of hardness. He is willing to sit late in the office and prepare payrolls of the employees and complete the checking of the pay sheets a day before the actual date of payments, sitting late in the office, and good sportsmen. So I'm just highlighting in different color. So in the time of exam, you need not to color this. You can highlight it through your pencil. You can just underline the things because your question is lying here. From here, you have to first questions. Who will be the best candidate? So we keeping in mind of the questions. That's why I'm just first show the questions of these case studies, not these things. So this is the about the your Tukaram Patils. Another thing, another part is another color I highlight is one of the pins. Patil's memory is strong, and he may forget to tasks assigned to him. But he is straightforward and frankly accepted his limitations. So this is all is biodata based on these personal things. What is the merits and demerits, whatever the things are, you have to list it out. Now, go for the Girish margins. This question has come, I think, June 2023. That question case studies is there. You can go through the question paper, download it, the IGNOU exam, and that is already come out. The Girish Mahajan, he is 25 years and above average communication skills, rough is dealing with the people. But computer skill is very excellent. Now, another thing is, but he is against the principle of sitting late in the office. Is not late sitting is acceptable for us. But a sense of timekeeping, punctuality is good and regular. He feels that attendance of the employees and pay sheets must be kept ready at first of every month and sent to account department for checking before third installment. It means he's very particular about this. He knows because the timely adjustment and the salary and everything, prepare the provident fund, ESI statement, because everything are going for him. Because all other things are very important. It's a time bound. So, however, Mr. Girish Mahajan is short tempered. Now, this is the demerits. What are the merits parts we have now? He's short tempered and at times he also had heated arguments with managerial executives. Sometimes he is very argumentative. He limits his existence to his working table. And if anybody unconnected with the time of his work comes near his tables, he loses his temper also. So that means he is short-tempered, and argumentative, but is very sincere about his work. Timely he is delivering the work. Now you see, it's very difficult, almost the story is almost finished. Now you see, the first question, whom you recommend out of the two candidates? So now you are a personal manager. It's very difficult things. Both are some merits indicators. Now you have to see the percentage wise, you have to evaluate the things. Second question, suppose there are Grish Mahajan and another party is there. Suppose you are decided some things and other panel body is not ready to accept it. How to deal with these things? Within the members, I mean the panel members, maybe your colleagues, and how to improve things. Now, see one by one. So, first questions. In terms of overall capabilities, the things who recommend. First question and answer will be, as a personal manager, Visual Industries, Mr. Girish Mahajan will be the recommended out of the two candidates. Second one, even though he has argumentals and loose tempers, but why he is important? Because the two is timekeepers jobs. As Girish Mahajan believes in timekeeping and punctuality. First day, which is very much essential for any business organizations, because we have to see the overall business, personal life. It may be differ, you may have mental conflict or this, but when we are talking about the organization's point of view, so excellent in clerical and computerization skills. So another last point. That's why I highlighted the things in yellow color. Excellent in clerical and computerization skills. So his skill is very important here. Punctuality is very important. Just knowledge is also important. So focus mind as the fields of the attendance and of the employee is very much particular about the attendance. Focus. Another important point here, the first of the every month, he sent the account department, which shows his interest for is the own work rather than other extracurricular activities. So this is the work. That's why the Girish Mahajan palla thoda bhari hai. Mane Girish Mahajan is what it is now. Now, second questions. It is continuing. Some of the another. The Girish Mahajan has one disadvantage is also there. That is the short tempered. That has to be considered a little bit by the counseling process. You can reduce it. So tempered persons has a tendency to overcome any situation to prove him and his confident. So by the virtue of time, they have to give us some chances to see the observe these things. It can be reduced by counseling, by the seniors can discuss with him, then can be reduced. So this is the way it can answer. Now question number 2, how to differ your decisions, which you are taking decisions, but other your persons has not accepted it. How to convince this? So answer is, as a personal manager, the Visual Industrial Limited will convince him by gratifying him about the requirement of the business organizations. You have to focus on the organizations. There is no question of individuality. Workplace very fluent environment, and also by giving him the opportunity, like some amount of particular period, because 1 or 2 hours early time spans and bonus, grid, whatever the things. So this is the way you have to convince. Third questions, how to improve the interpersonal relations. Here actually see some of the positive and healthy ambience you have to create in the workplace. so that conflict argument can be reduced. So I will also try to bring individuals into a more conscious level of the interpersonal relationships, communications. If any gap is there, communication gaps, you have to improve the communication gaps. Mutually supportive interdependence. That is very much important. Where you have to show is the togetherness, cohesive nature to develop. And that can be possible through the communications. So it is important to note how attitudes and the personality styles may conflict. And thus it is necessary to transform into more cohesive. Complementary, competent coordinations as indispensable training for any organizations, and it is diffuses conflict. If you have all these things, good training and competent coordinations is there, then definitely you can diffuse the conflict, boost morale, improve the productivity, and enhance the general atmosphere of the work environment. So that is all you have to, based on the theory, you have to derive the things. So question number C is very important apart from this study. So this type of case studies, so this is the way you have to go through this. I repeat once again, suppose this is your case study. First, don't go through the story fast. You have to see the questions. When you have done, it will be focused in your mind. Then you have to search in the story why it is lying there. Then you can get the answers and can write it. Then you can elaborate the things. Now, some of the important questions which needs to be studied for the forthcoming term exams, very important. You can note down the things very carefully because the exam is in the July middle, I think so, this paper. So we have to area of the questions basically, the components of the HRM, role of responsibility of the HRM manager and the challenges, evaluation of the HRM. I expect from there the questions will come. Importance and the scope of the HRM, factors that influences organizational environment, recruitment versus selections and their process, objectives, process of the HRP and problem in the HRP. This is the area. Then your succession planning and its importance, objective and the benefits of the performance appraisals. This is also one of the very important questions may come. Define the organizational specializations, socializations, and the integration of the individuals. Strategies for the making the career planning success. Concept of workers' participations in the management and its current state in India. Earlier, the questions has come in the last time, some Japan and Czechoslovakia, that part is coming exactly. I can remember. I have the question. Let's see. Last time the questions come. Workers participation. Yes, the question is there. Germany and Yugoslavia. So now these times it may come the state of India. That what type of worker participation systems and management is there in the company, in the India. So earlier it was questions. If you see the last time, December 2024, question number 6 already came, but that time it was Germany and Czechoslovakia. Now this time I feel growth of trade union movements in India. That is also important questions. Then concept of the reward systems and its forms. Then your evaluations of the training programs. Then concept of the disciplines, empowerment, and short notes. As a short notes, I'm just selected on the 4. There are maybe a lot of short notes are there. That empowerment, compensation survey, quality circle, function of the trade unions. All these things are important questions are there. Apart from that, I have to just go through this quickly. Some of the things. I already, I already discussed some of the key questions. Yeah, I think that is sufficient. If you go through this, then maybe you will get the questions from there. So I think, I hope best of luck for the exam. All the best for the current exams. So I think now this way I have finished the MMPH G02. Earlier there are 5 sessions, and this is the review sessions. This is the way I complete. I hope it will be helpful for these sessions and for the exam point of view. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.